telling you now, the now is all important. Rabbono Shalom.
Yesterday was a celebration in honor of completing um, a cycle of reading Rambam.
The Maimonides.
Rabbi Moshe ben Maimonides.
Well,
Rambam,
Rabbono
baby.
Shalom.
Rambam, Rambam, Moran.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Rambam books, and I haven't really spent enough time. But the one time that I did read it, I think I read it with that guy Zach Ruda on here, and it was eye opening, like real wisdom. Those are the types of books I like. I can't believe people never ever touch wisdom books because they deal with intelligence and psychology. I have books on aphorisms and maxims, and when I read that, I'm just like, I know nothing. And I think that's the true meaning of the word fear of the Lord. It's because I know I'm really stupid when I read a really smart book.
Want to know something? Emerson says all learning is remembering.
Yeah, memory's the big. I mean, it's a little bit like you think because you've ridden a bike, you'll always know how to ride a bike. But when it comes to books, it's definitely like going to the gym every day, or if you can go to the gym every day, it's to me it's the same type of reception or consumption or ingestion or metabolism.
What was that room you were just listening to?
You don't want to go in there, El Normo. It's going to ruin your day. These people have been doing this for months and months and months and months and months. It's a hypnosis. It's a hypnosis room. You don't want to go in there. Do you believe in hypnosis, El Normo?
No.
You don't believe in hypnosis?
No.
Why not? I know friends that have done hypnosis and have had great results.
Oh, I wasn't sure which kind you meant.
Like therapeutic, to help people with their time management, everything. Yeah, whatever it is you want to work on.
No, I haven't. I don't know. I didn't even really think that it was very common right now.
Well, there's practitioners. You just go on Google and you type in hypnotist in your area, and there's people out there that will, provide you hypnosis services, and they're amazing, people because they understand communication. Have you ever heard me play the santur, El Normo?
What is that?
It's an Iranian percussion instrument. You want to see what it looks like?
Okay. I've heard you play the drum sometimes.
Yeah, this is my Mozart instrument. And I got a piece of Andy Warhol artwork adorning it. Check this out. This is my new PTR. I want to dedicate this song to you, El Normo. What kind of blessings are you looking for, El Normo? Health, wealth, love, peace of mind, happiness, strength, joy.
Time management.
think? Yeah, I think I spent like $400 on this thing. It's manufactured in Iran, in Esfahan. So I made a mistake yesterday.
Do you use mallets, by the way?
Yeah, you use these tiny little wooden sticks with
It's like a xylophone?
yeah, it's called a santor. Same thing as a xylophone.
I once played in something called a Javanese gamelan. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, make a note. It's something you would definitely want to know about. Gamelan. Gamalen. Or Game. Either one. It'll come right up. It's an Indonesian orchestra, and it's mostly percussion, although there are a couple of string instruments. Very interesting, and it uses a slightly different musical scale. I think you would find it very interesting. It's what they used to play music in the background while they had their famous Indonesian shadow puppet plays. They're very big on shadow puppets.
So we got a little bit of an audience going here, and I just want to point out that the basis of this room is the concept that there is not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe. That destiny, fate, eternity, infinity, all these things tie into the presidents of the United States of America. It's a superficial understanding, I think, of a giant, metaphysical conundrum. But Blake, America, welcome to the room. It looks like you could have TDS. What's going on with your PTR, Blake?
Bienvenido, shalom. Bienvenu. Benvenuto.
Shalom. Shalom, man. You got some nerve coming at me like that on Shabbat, my nigga.
Shalom. Today is not Shabbat. My half-wit colleague.
Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's I ain't got no TBS syndrome, but I am very disappointed from all sides. I'm disappointed in the media, the left, who were not interested in this story for decades, who called people like me tinfoil hat wearing kook. And it's just like, dude, all these guys, man. But on the bright side, we might get a pedo bump in the polls. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess pedo is in now. Like pedophilia, that's the new thing. For 2026, we're all in it. Everybody's in it. So, let's hope Trump gets a pedo bump.
All right, well, you've come on here now and you've used the N-word with the hard R. You've come on here and accused our great, glorious, patriotic president trying to save America, and called him a pedo. Is any of this projection, sir? Because I'm about to hit my projection alert bell system.
It might be, man. It might be. My cutoff line is 18, but,
Your cutoff line is 18. Well, good Shabbos, my N-word. Thanks for coming to Trump Hate Therapy Support Group. Is there anything else you'd like to submit to the Jewish Complaint Department while you're here?
I hope that we no longer use the N-word. It's just whole thing. That thing, we gotta say the whole thing, bro. It's
Okay.
hard RC.
Okay, my N-word. Thank you. We will put that in your file with the JCD, the Jewish Complaint Department, my new nonprofit association here to help field complaints on Clown House, which I've renamed the Complainium. Welcome and thank you for making a submission. Anything else you want to submit a complaint about? Hello? Oh, Cool C is here as well. Hey, Cool C. Anything you want to complain about, Cool C, as you drive your truck across America and your wife at home with her mental health issues? Anyways, just a joke, Cool C. Blake, anything else I can help you with here today? And Manfinity is, FYI, listening to the room. Thanks for being a part of this audience. And Mountain Man, thanks for being here. And everybody else who has tuned in. Brian, thanks for being here. This has been your Trump Derangement Syndrome Therapy Support Group. we're going to tune back into a bunch of people that are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome live, and you can hear them complaining about Donald Trump live.
If you want, he said, listen to me. He said the Gospel of John is First John, Second John, and Third John. No, the Gospel of John.
No, it's not.
Okay, no, it's not. All right. Now he's playing stupid. No, the Gospel of John is
recover it to lesser and greater extent. There's no human that has zero.
You say everybody has a little bit.
Has a little bit, yeah. This is called science. It's been measured.
So allow me. Hold on. Allow me to look into this. Let's start before you. I have to move the conversation.
Okay. And you're right. Your signal quality is turning to shit. So I don't know, Miss Nancy, you've been here for almost all of it, and Royvis has been here. I can't tell if Joanna's off the phone, but this is crazy. Does anybody want to support this idea? I mean, provoking might be right. I might be the outlier here. I just think animals.
You're right.
Humans are animals. I know when I was a kid, I didn't understand it as deeply as I do now. But is this an outlandish idea I have that we are animals?
No.
Not really.
If you put your eyes on it, okay, if I said like, hey, I brought an animal to work, right? You wouldn't think I brought a human to work, right? So like in that sense, there's like a way we differentiate ourselves from animals.
Sure. I mean, in a loose reference, but from the life cycle. Born, and not everything is born off of the way we get born, but born
And ignoring the
exists for eating, sleeping, and existing and behaving, and then at the end of it, you die, right? And then the life comes to an end. That these are things that animals do. Rocks don't do them.
yeah, so look at the definition of animal. We fall in that category, you know, but we also use it to differentiate ourselves.
Oh, it's concrete!
Yeah.
So I think was
Trent Reznor said, "Fuck me like an animal," right?
Well, yeah.
I don't want to understand where
Yes, they do, right? Doggy style. David.
Go ahead, Elliot. I didn't mean to cut you off, Elliot.
getting out for animal stuff.
Like this is pretty common. This is a pretty common sort of, I don't know, intuition that people have. And like I can understand why people kind of have. Some people have this intuition, like they like, you know, people like we feel like there's some kind of like qualitative difference between us, the humans, and the rest of the other life forms on the planet. And we want to be able to draw a distinction between them. And some people do that by saying they're the animals and we're not the animals. And there's lots of ways you can think about that, but I don't think that's what David and Provoking were discussing. I think they were discussing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Provoking, I don't know. I'm sort of like went out a little bit here. I think you guys are talking about something more basic fact that has to do with science.
Yeah.
And what's like how do we
Because Nancy, can I speak to you in private?
Provoking also saying that we didn't evolve from animals in any way whatsoever. You know, so
this is actually
You want to come in? So,
Like, I guess I gotta say. I guess I'll say another thing. What was it? I remember something Christopher Hitchens said, or something that was said about Christopher Hitchens. It was like he was the product of billions of years of evolution, and he acted like it. But that's not the interesting. The interesting thing about that is like that. Like, yeah, there's this, yeah, we are like the product of billions of years of life just fighting tooth and fucking nail to survive in spite of all the odds. Like that, we're fucking awesome, dude. We are awesome fucking animals. Okay, that's something to be proud of. It's not something to like throw a sweep under the rug.
well, I'll agree with you there. I mean, I was trying to get to the timeline not being very well articulated by ancient texts that weren't informed by fucking geology, paleontology, biology, and germ theory. They didn't even talk about washing hands. Hey guys, sorry. Can I roll with what I was about to say? Sorry, I just came back. Go on. Yeah, so maybe I'm stating the obvious here, but there's this weird sort of cyber skepticism that I think is being expressed particularly by people who thought, and that's like I don't agree with, and I'm skeptical of the specialists, right? And this is a kind of common mindset that I think very intelligent people are exploiting in the government. I think Trump and his buddies really latch on to this sort of understand why a lot of people do this because, yeah, we've been lied to for sure, lots of times. But this mode of thought is really being exploited by some very intelligent people in Washington now, and I think that's why Trump got elected. He said the elections were rigged. His followers are like, yeah, of course they're rigged. We can't trust anything. So it's kind of sad. Don't you feel like a segment of the American population is being trolled? In Canada too, we get trolled as well, for sure. I just think the information space is highly subjected to information attacks, mostly to cause people to be polarized in discord with each other instead of in discourse. Yeah, but there is a better and less way of getting to the truth, right? If you want to find the truth of something, there's a very specific way of going about it. And what is the way to find truth? The specific way. Okay, drop a link because I don't have it off the top of my head. I'm loosely familiar with it, but it's the critical thinking method, right? It builds up from very specific steps that you would take to get as close to the truth as you can. You may never arrive at the absolute truth, of course, like, how did the Big Bang happen, right? If you want to go back that far, nobody really knows. But there's more scientific and less scientific ways of figuring out what's true or not, for sure. I'll drop it in. So it's a really fantastic website, www.criticalthinking.org. And I apologize if I sound preachy. Foundation for Critical Thinking, really fantastic site.
These people, the phrase for what these people are anti-intellectual nerds. The flat earthers, people like Provoking, whatever his name is.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of, and they're duped. Yeah.
I don't know what we can do about that. Stupid is, stupid does.
I think one of the most important things is to split this difference between just being skeptical and then knowing why you're skeptical and understanding that thing. Like, there's no way that I could ever understand.
He's throwing this thing you're doing nothing burgers. This is another one.
All right.
We can do this. So we must be more learn between skeptical. Like, we can do this. They cannot do this. They're not going to become more critically thinking people in the near future. It's not going to happen, no matter what you say. Like, they're broken.
Education system.
Yeah, we can lament about it. Sure. There's people that can't be taken seriously. They shouldn't be having discussions with us. It's just like they're not here to, like, it's not our job to educate them in the first place. That's the other thing.
I don't know if Provoking is still there, but he said he was going into like a bad reception area. I was just curious, like, why? Is it true that thinking of humans as animals, does that like make you uncomfortable or something, or like, why do you have an issue with?
He's on the phone.
His VHI broke. Maybe he said he was, well, whatever. Yeah, it sounds like a several ideas that are going to be hard to figure out what it really means. People are too defensive; they won't even share with you what they actually believe.
Matthew might be right. Talking about like bloodlines and lineage and stuff like that.
He thinks he has a direct lineage to Adam and Eve, which were never animals. That's why he thinks this way. It's very simple. He just won't admit it because it sounds stupid. All right, guys, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man, go for it. Did you get my question or not?
Yeah, repeat your question.
No, I didn't hear your question. What was your question?
I don't want to like relitigate the whole combo that you and David had. I was just curious. Does thinking of humans as something other than is thinking of humans as animals, does that like bother you or make you uncomfortable, or do you just think it's like flatly false or something?
No, it's just so I'm just somebody who questions everything now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to hold to that idea. Once upon a time, like some of y'all still do. Yeah, I'm just somebody who questions everything, man. I understand that, we would never come to complete grips with what is truth. We're on a search for truth. We do the best that we can with what we got. And we argue from that position. But to say that we understand everything in its totality, I don't think no one, can.
No one said we don't understand everything. So I have a problem with starting as tabula rasa or blank slate every new conversation with a new person. Shouldn't we have some kind of corpus of information, like algebra means algebra, calculus means calculus, fossils mean fossils, plate tectonics comes from geology, that we can build as we have prerequisite knowledge. And you don't have to start from scratch and say, question everything, we're going to start over. The earth might be flat because it looks that way. Or do you have to start over every time? Because your book is the only thing you reload into your operating system.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad thing. You have people that have paradigms all the time, but they find out that everything that I accumulate for as knowledge and understanding that I thought was real, shit can get thrown out tomorrow based off of some new evidence.
Tell me when that has happened, when everything got thrown out. Not some things were revised and little tweaks to the edges. Because what you're describing is questioning everything allows you to throw it all out and start picking, like from a menu. You're starting from the buffet of science, and you're only picking. Hang on, let me fucking finish.
Oh, bro, we ain't doing that.
You're gonna tell me how I get to speak?
I mean, don't tell me.
Just let me finish. I wanted to finish.
Okay,
I wasn't referencing you. Just go on mute if you can't let someone finish without interrupting, because you derail the conversation. My point is, you shouldn't, just because you're a stranger, shouldn't mean that we're at the buffet and there's nothing you'll eat. These are pre-prepared. The dinner rolls are dinner rolls, the same ones that look like dinner rolls to you and me. Then tell me that you're not throwing everything out just to start with. I question everything. What do you start with?
Alright, so I'm on mute. I don't know. That's the thing, man. I haven't gotten around to really just, I don't know, dig into something deep. For me, David, my paradigm started back in 2018, but even that have shifted. So I'm constantly getting new information. Like I'm what you would call like kind of unstable, and I'm searching. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you mean that you had a paradigm? What does that mean?
A change of heart, change in thought.
About what?
I once believed this, now I don't.
Which was what? You once what? What was it?
For example, when I was a Christian, I know, finding out certain things about Christianity. That's why I'm able to walk with you pertaining to certain things. Finding out that Christianity, it's not the way, the truth, the light. It's not the end all, the be all. In my world, it once was. You see what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that, man.
Okay. Well, the Bible is full of nonsense. I mean, good job. I figured that out as a teenager.
I wouldn't say the Bible is full of nonsense. In particular, I would say Christianity.
I have a feeling you're still holding on to it. You can't quite get it out of your system.
Because I respect history. I think the Tanakh portion of the Bible is a people's culture.
It's not a history book.
There's history inside of that book.
Not really.
You said not
It
really.
mentions some places that did exist and some things that didn't exist.
Exactly. So, there's something there. There's some validity there where we can...
an actual history.
Hold on, bro. Ain't your boy...
Why don't you want to read an actual history?
Hold on.
Biology book.
What are we doing?
You can assert what you want.
I need you to answer my question.
So he can cut me off, but I can't cut him off.
You're cutting him off before you finished.
Well, I was speaking. He came off mic. What are you talking about?
It's not a fucking contest. We're trying to understand the simple idea.
You ain't gonna let it in my face, though. That's what I'm saying, bro.
You're gonna raise your level of intelligence with me.
You ain't gonna say nothing.
Or I knock your fucking stupid ass down, boy. You got that?
Boy.
Yeah. I talk to you like you can be talked to. Alright? Stop being a dumbass. It's annoying.
You a bitch and you ain't gonna say none of that in my face, you fucking white
Go
devil.
fuck yourself, you stupid hood rat. Go fuck yourself. Fucking low class piece of shit.
You white devil.
See you later, bitch.
Yes, you guys are laughs.
You piece of shit. Okay. He was just here to deny reality. Whatever changed in his paradigm in 2018, I'd like to know, but I don't think it makes a difference. He just doesn't want to believe. It's just like the flat Earth path. Itch. And once they fall off the bike, they won't come back on the bike. Won't come back on the bike.
Anti-intellectualism's not a good thing, man. It's real bad.
We know. We're watching it happen.
Fuck that boy.
In real time. That's fine. I don't think you'll be able to make it back in here. So, there you go. The whole time, he just wanted to start a race war. You can't work with everybody.
Oh, you're gonna call him Black Man Boy.
I did.
Fucking line. Brothers did.
Brothers did.
And I think that's just.
That on purpose, but it was exactly the reaction I would get. It was calculated. Thank you very much. That's what he is. That's what he deserves to hear. He's like a living stereotype. He's fucking stupid. He needs to fucking grow the fuck up. And stop being a boy. And using his fucking ethnicity as an excuse, you dumbass.
Hi, Alvin.
I think
Peace to all of you boys in the room. How y'all doing?
Peace to everybody.
I think some level of skepticism is healthy, and we should have some healthy skepticism. But skepticism can be unhealthy, and dangerous. To us, you can't be so skeptical that you don't even believe that you fucking exist. There's some things that there's things that if you have too much skepticism, it's harmful. Then you start going. If you start thinking like evolution is false, and then you go down into shit like, the vaccines don't work. There's like a racial genetic heritage. People are this or that because of their genes. It's just not good.
I actually will argue that's not skepticism. Because it didn't take a lot for them to be convinced of that. They saw a blog article and said, yeah, Earth's flat. Right? It only took that. So you're not even really a skeptic if that's the only thing it took for you to flip, right?
I feel like nobody explained to this fellow, the difference between being skeptical on one hand and then, which is kind of good, but then also that there are specialists and there's a reason they should be trusted.
I think that guy was he was about to explain why he was no longer a Christian and why he's, looking at the Hebrew Israelite stuff. I think that's where he was going.
The conversation looked like it was about to go somewhere kind of decent. He said history in the Bible. I think all ancient texts are history to a degree. Now, the point of them, the content in the text might not be history, but if you get a religious text from the 3rd century, that is at least letting you know what some people in the 3rd century thought, right? So you can draw out some history from any ancient book, depending on the context you're looking at.
Just because shit was written down in the past doesn't mean it's true.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say anybody said that.
You can do that for fucking comic books, dude. Spider-Man. I don't know why I always have to keep saying it's in Spider-Man. There are real buildings in New York City. New York City is a real place. There are depictions of real buildings, Spider-Man comics. There are real people there. That doesn't mean that we should think that the narrative is true.
Well, I don't think anybody, I won't say anybody, but the argument of that isn't necessarily made. But even in that comic book where you have Spider-Man at 9/11, even though that's the comic book, it is talking about something that actually happened in real history. Like 2 planes did go into the towers. It's just that comic book puts Spider-Man in there. But there's actually real history.
Yeah, but Albert, if your entire worldview was built around a comic book, you're a fucking idiot. That's the greater point, right? You understand?
I don't think ancient texts are equivalent to comic books because I don't think.
Most of mythology is nonsense. I'm not gonna like follow a fucking Bronze Age mythology book. Like, what are you out of your mind?
I think comic books, and even if we call them mythology, serve 2 different.
Oh my god. You don't think the Bible is full of mythology? You think talking donkeys exist?
I don't think you're
fucking child.
You're not trying to engage with what I'm
Are you serious, dude?
I'm trying to.
I'm talking to a grown-ass man to address me similarly. Don't insult my intelligence, dude. You believe in talking donkeys, dude?
Are you okay?
Do you?
Like, I'm just.
You believe in talking donkeys? If I talk about this, what happens?
I just want to make a simple point. I mean, I don't know where all the animus is coming from.
Do you believe in talking donkeys?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Now listen, you can't answer it, right?
Roy, that's the answer. Roy, that's the answer. Let's just ask it differently. I thought when people are taught about books, try not to introduce religion too early, that there's fiction and nonfiction. Mm-hmm. The Bible seems to me like a series of multiple books. It's almost like a library man-made stories that weren't in our present day understanding of what history is and facts. They didn't have videos they could go watch after something happened. Mm-hmm. So they lived in an oral tradition. It's the beginning of writing. So understanding that, what kind of book is it? Is it fiction? Okay. Non-fiction? I think it's a religious text, right? Which would be fiction or non-fiction? Is it a documentary? It is not a documentary and it's not historical. It is religious. Now, I would love to explain. I only need 20 seconds, right? So, I think the difference between religious texts and comic books is that they serve 2 different purposes. Comic books.
We understand it. Elliot was just making an analogy. You don't need to go into this fucking diatribe about comic books, dude. Like, what are you doing?
He said they serve 2 different purposes, and he seems to be on the phone. The purpose served by a fiction doesn't matter. It doesn't change it into being a non-fiction. The purpose served by a Disney story doesn't make it true. Who cares what the purpose is?
The following story is not for educational purposes, but for purely entertainment purposes.
Well, it's a fucking tragedy because, a lot of African American folks had their history stolen from them, kind of, quite literally.
I think it's their liberty. They still possess their history.
Yeah, it was, you get what I'm saying, a lot of connections and things were stolen, and then that's shitty. And another thing is, there are some communities in the United States with lack of, not the best education systems. And so it's a twofold thing where people really want to learn about their past and history. And then they're also not, some communities aren't given very clear critical thinking education. Yeah. I sound like an asshole saying that, but.
So, take Jesus out of the stories and insert Spider-Man. It would be the same thing. Spider-Man walked on water. Spider-Man turned water into wine, and Spider-Man was dead and was resurrected. There we go. and then put Jesus in the Spider-Man comics. Walked around fighting the crime with its ability to have them drink wine versus water, and they were drunk and they were able to be apprehended more easily.
Yeah, but I think the Bible and something like Spider-Man comic books, they share something in common with each other that is real, that is like real and practical in our everyday lives, and we should look at those things. You know, like those are the moral lessons that you can draw from them. Probably the greatest moral lesson from Spider-Man comics is just the idea of how with great power comes great responsibility. You know, that's like a moral idea that we can apply in our everyday lives. You know, and the Bible has lots of stories like that. But that doesn't mean that the stories are true. It's just not.
Yeah, Hero's Journey, fucking, what's his name? Joseph Campbell, sort of thing. Well, David, I think we stumbled onto something, a solution or a proposal of some sort of change related to conversations earlier is, yeah, I mean, if the Democrats ever, when they get back in power, an ideal thing would be to enact and bring in critical thinking classes for kids at a young age. And then as well, maybe do like Australia's doing and don't allow for kids under 16 to partake in social media. You know, in those years, before 16 years old and younger, they should be developing as much armor.
They totally get it, but how do you regulate the U.S. tech?
I don't know.
We tried to get them to outlaw TikTok, and Trump wouldn't let it go because, you know, it's one of his veins into the whatever uneducated or whatever he says, the lowly educated. And then it was not even after it was enforced as a law, it wasn't executed. So yeah, we don't do any limitations on things. It's a Wild West scenario with parents not equipped with any tools because we're not asking these people to give them the tools. While it's the Wild West, children are objectified and extracted. The enshittification will continue. My kids, they're both in 6th grade, and they cannot use their devices while at school. But that's the school saying, don't bring that shit in here. Has nothing to do with whether parents grant the kid 12 hours of fuck around time when they get home.
Because I have like 10 actual friends. Like, I can't handle people. And like, everyone is so fucking stupid. It's just scary. And my friends are really fucking smart, so I get tricked into thinking that's what most people are like. And then I come on this app and I was like, oh my God. It's so bad. We're reasonably intelligent. I'm like, I should be average. I don't get it. I don't know shit about math or physics. I'm an idiot.
You know a little bit about physics and sound. Did you watch the Grammys or?
No,
that's not your jam.
I can't pay attention. That's another example. I just can't get through terrible music and people putting themselves on their back in terrible albums that win statues. And I have statues, so I'm allowed to say that. Oh, you know, I'm like deep into the whole Grammy world, you know. It's like, it's another thing. schmoozing. It's probably my problem.
Well, award shows are popularity contests, right? So if you're into the art and the work, the award shows are just for entertainment and, you know, sorting of aesthetics mostly.
That's just not the, I don't want to waste my time with whatever pop shit people are into, which is just boring to me.
Alvin, do you think God has desires?
I think God would hate, if God existed, he would really hate the human race. I mean, what's there to fucking like?
I was wondering
I was asking Alvin because he's a God believer.
I think he's on the phone.
Oh.
I was filling in for Alvin.
Good job.
That's exactly what he would say.
I think if we make it through and AI is leveraged for good, then we could live in a world where people are very logical and empathetic and well behaved and all the sorts of good things.
Why do you think AI is going to change people's behavior?
Yeah, so
They have the concept of this, this deity that will strike you down with vengeance at your time of your judgment day, and those people still misbehave.
yeah, probably for the very reason you stated. I don't know. It's a very broad concept, and it's not at all practical. But if governments actually wanted to create very stable societies where everybody's wealthy and, all these sort of positive promises that a lot of the air companies are making, world without work, okay. If they can just concentrate on positive information, accurate information, non-divisive information, I think people's behavior is, we go off of monkey see, monkey do, but we just reflect the information that's given to us. And if governments wanted to create high trust societies, I think it could be done. I think it can be done with the control of information. If that's what they want.
It's like just
Sorry.
the AI is like there's a sense where AI is just no different than like the internet or Gutenberg printing press or whatever, because the printing press, like what you get from the printing press are things like Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf was written by Adolf Hitler while he was in prison, and then it was printed and distributed to lots of people. That's an evil fucking book.
Yeah.
It's an evil fucking book. Okay. And then, so the internet kind of does like the same kind of thing. It can spread, or like the press is also at least indirectly responsible for like the spread of the writings of like Aristotle and Shakespeare. So you got these two kind of extremes on both sides, and that's true for the printing press. That's true for the fucking internet. That's true, and that's also true for AI. AI has you guys know. I don't have to go into all the bad shit.
Yeah, good and bad both. Yeah, good and bad.
Okay, I'm back now. So, all I was saying is that when it comes to religious texts and comic books, I think there's two different goals, right? Where a comic book is made purely for entertainment, while religious text is like trying to give instructions to a population of like morality and stuff.
That's not true. Like the first edition of Captain America was a World War II propaganda piece. It has Captain America punching Hitler right in the fucking face. Issue number 1. So comic books are used for more than just entertainment.
I didn't say you can add other stuff, but the primary purpose of comic books is entertainment. It's considered to be a part of the entertainment industry. While religious text seems to be like giving groups of people, hey, these are the values we live by in this way, and we're going to have stories that reflect these values that we're trying to promote. So I think
if you use comic books to change perceptions of reality, any ideology. You can use ideas to the comic books.
You can use any piece of literature for more than its primary.
So what does it matter what the original is?
So what I'm saying,
both end up doing the same thing.
I'm saying the primary purpose.
What's it matter what the primary purpose is?
It matters if we're going to categorize these things. Like a historian wouldn't tell you.
Look, I'm categorizing the Bible and comic books are both fiction. That's how I'm categorizing them, okay?
Okay, but not all fiction is of the same genre. Like a murder mystery.
I didn't say it was.
Nobody said it was. It doesn't change from being fiction.
Are you from the South? What's going on, dude?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why you're so amped up. I just...
Because I don't want to be mansplained to.
But you don't even...
I'm another man. I know all this shit already, dude. I fucking lived 40 more lives than you have. You fucking out of your gourd?
Are you
talking to me like this?
I don't
It's fucking insulting. Okay, bro, me. It's fucking insulting.
Hey, Roy, man, you're being harsh today, bro.
Well, what the fuck? What else am I supposed to do? What do you like put my kid gloves on? Oh yeah, little Alvin. That's really profound what you just said. Well, I'm so impressed with you. Good little kid. Here's a pat on the back, Alvin. You're so smart.
Yes, so Alvin. So yes, the religious text is supposed to guide people. However, it's based upon stuff that's not true. Why would we take it serious?
You take it serious for the same reason people take the tortoise and the hare story serious, right? That did not
religion to control people. That's the primary purpose, Alvin. Did you ever figure that out?
I was talking
You're so smart and profound, right? Did you ever learn that?
The only person that says profound is you. I didn't say anything about my intelligence level. So
you're mansplaining down the internet, so you must think you're really fucking smart. You must think you have something like smarter than me. You must think you're more knowledgeable than me.
He just asked me a good question. I'm trying to answer his question. It's a good question. I'm saying like
it's rhetorical. You don't need to answer it.
Was it rhetorical, Jay?
Yeah, it was rhetorical.
You want me to answer it?
No.
Goodness, I don't know what's wrong.
We don't need to hear you fucking blab on like an idiot.
But you have to
bring over you.
Question.
You're not interesting. You're boring. Stop.
Well, is it okay for me to talk to JCC?
Why do you want to talk? Because I want to hear your own voice. Like, are you learn something here?
Roy, let's see if addressing it. Yeah, you guys can go back and forth. I just was getting lost in my interest between who cares if there's different kinds of fictions. A fiction is a fiction. It's explicitly written by the author with no valence towards being accurate.
But David, some books are red on the outside and others are blue on the outside. Some have a hardcover.
Well, maybe they can pick up from there. So you and JCC engage. If you question,
he said, "Why?"
Understood.
Right. So I would say for the same reason, the tortoise and the hare story is taken serious, right?
It's comparable.
I'm almost there. So nobody believes there was a historical race between the tortoise and the hare, or the grasshopper and the ant. Like, nobody believes those were historical, but those stories reflect certain principles that a lot of people will take serious.
That's a very simplified thing that expresses one principle. It's not the Bible. You can't compare that.
The problem with religion is people take it seriously, though, right?
Yeah. Matthew, you're going to get me interrupted.
I'm just going to land it. So when it comes to the Bible, there's actually a lot of Catholics and Jews that don't believe any of the text is historical, but they believe the authors wrote it to reflect certain values and principles, and they use these characters, who they'll even say are fictional, as devices to highlight certain points. So there's people that take the Bible seriously who don't even necessarily believe it's historical. That's why I said it's kind of a different genre. That's what I'm saying.
The people can take things a different way. We were asking about whether it's true or not. Go ahead, JCC. You wanted that?
Well, yeah, it was about because it can't be demonstrated to be true. I still stand on why I take it seriously. I get it's a mechanism to, i.e., control the masses and get people to conform, and that's kind of the main point of it, as far as I understand it. So yeah.
Yeah, if everyone follows that book, everyone is more predictable. They all have the same morals, be easier to control. Well, do I like utility to it?
Well,
Sure.
government is made to control. We have a government in order to control the society.
That's not enough. We want to control how people think, how they feel, and what they do in their private time. That's where the all-knowing, all-seeing God comes in.
I don't think control in itself.
You don't think, Alvin? Well, that's really interesting. What you don't think is true doesn't inform what I think. You haven't demonstrated to me to have anything interesting to say this whole time. So, like,
It's AI, 1984.
Just having a conversation.
so you think the Bible is true, Alvin? There's truth in there, like the talking dogs
I
are
think
real.
there's truth in the Bible. I don't think everything is historically accurate.
What truth is in the Bible?
Owning slaves, is that true?
That happened, so that's true.
What happened?
Owning slaves happened, so that's
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll grant you there are a lot of true geographical locations. Some of the events are true, like owning slaves. Other than that, what else is true in the Bible?
Well, a lot of that stuff. I mean, the Babylonian exile, the Assyrian deportation, King Hazazel defeating Joram, Misha defeating the Israelites, Hilkiah the prophet found his coin and finding the book of the law.
How do you found a coin? What are you talking about? How's that history? This has been verified by archaeology or something? What are you talking about?
Yeah, if you look up Hilkiah the priest, you can find his coin that he found. Right.
Okay. So I need to change my whole lifestyle around to follow this book down? Get the fucking coin?
I made no such argument.
Why does no one talk about this stupid book? Why are we talking about Gilgamesh all the time?
Well,
What's the difference?
it's just a conversation. Look, this is
We really tell me this is a conversation like Alvin, you're not that smart, dude.
Why are you saying that as if I said I was?
The relevance of these parts. What's the relevance of these parts that are true? Like, what do these true statements do? Like,
it depends. The relevance depends on who sent it. Now, if you're a historian in the Near East, then they are relevant to there. You're trying to get a frame of what's going on here at that time, right?
There's some assholes found a coin, like, so what? If I put my light off now?
You're like a historian or archaeologist, and you find a coin that says Hilkiah the priest, then okay, that's relevant to you because that's in your field of study, right? So it depends on who we're talking about in terms of relevance.
Although I am new to this app, are there any question for me to ask a question?
This is going to be fun.
Although is there any question here for me to ask?
Alvin, are you a Christian?
I don't think that word accurately defines what I am anymore.
I'm sorry, somebody.
Really, I have a very old book from time when most people were illiterate. You should follow your whole life to it, okay?
Mr. Badger of the Honey, I don't know any Christians in here to answer
For
the question.
somebody who thinks they are saved, but
I found a book that written like 4 billion years ago, and it's really dumb, and I think that you should follow it.
I was saved by a doctor. Does that count, Mr. Badger of the Honey?
yes, are you?
Doctors are devil.
Alvin, you pray. Alvin, you pray.
I don't know. Honey Badger, what's with the
You don't
accent?
know you pray.
Just comedy, Alvin. Just comedy.
Do you pray?
What you say?
Do you pray?
Yeah, I pray.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean? Say that last part. Your voice kind of low.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to be quiet, neighbors. What's going on there? Like, what do you do when you do that?
You make my cell phone level. I'll set it down right now. You pray, make it level.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to achieve when you do that? I'm just curious.
Communicate with the deity I worship.
Okay, and so you worship and does he like respond to you?
Through dreams,
And so
psychological phenomenon.
how it is like, you pray. Does that mean like you sit quietly?
Yeah, I pray. I mean, you pray.
I don't know. Look, I'm asking you. Does that mean pray quietly? You sit quietly in your head.
the thoughts that he's thinking.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that's what I do. Maybe I'll ask.
Anything's going on though. Like, why would you pray? Things like if you don't know if he knows what's going on.
It's something that said, hey, you should pray. So I pray. I mean, whether he knows exactly what's going on or not, I mean,
Do you expect us to decide on the truth?
no, you don't have to accept it at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you don't expect us to, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Well, you understand the line of reasoning, Honey Badger's asking you that, right? From the eternal critique of those who hold the God they believe in is all-knowing, right? So if this God is all-knowing, then all the events that are going to occur cannot change, cannot be anything other than what they are. So what's the purpose of praying for something to come out different? Do you think it's going to do anything?
I don't believe he is all-knowing in that strict of a sense. I think he knows a lot, but based on what we see in the text, there's some times where it appears that he was caught off guard a couple times. So
That's called a
I don't
contradiction.
know if all-knowing is in the omni sense, like in the most strictest sense of all-knowing. I don't know if I would describe him as that.
That's Enigma.
Hello. Is he all powerful?
With all the omnis, my position is the same. I would not relegate him to the strict specificness of all powerful and all that. I don't think that's the case. I think he's powerful and he's knowing, but
So was Jesus lying when he said, with God all things are possible?
no.
Oh, okay, so he is all powerful then.
But do I think he was meaning in the strict sense of that? I don't think so. And based on how you read those stories, even if we don't believe those stories are true, whoever wrote those stories have certain elements there where it looks like God didn't know something, or he was caught off guard, or he
Or maybe they're
regretted
just trying to
something.
manhandle you.
If they really believed he was all-knowing in the sense we're talking about, they wouldn't have written stories in there where it looks like he's caught off guard a couple of times. So, yeah.
Where was the God caught off guard?
I mean, the flood. Like, he made all these people and said, man, these people are terrible. Let me do a do-over. If they really felt he was all-knowing, that story would not exist. They wouldn't even put it in there. Right? So, evidently the people that wrote this book did not have, they thought he was the most knowing probably, but the idea that he knew everything at all times is not reflected in the stories these authors wrote.
But you believe them to be true.
I believe the message in the stories to be true.
But you
Not
don't believe
necessarily
the
that
story is
all of
true.
them are historically happened. I don't believe all of them are necessarily historical.
Can God read the minds of people?
Yeah, I think he can test the hearts and minds of people. Now,
No.
what is the
Does he
extent?
know what's going on in the brain?
I don't know exactly.
Then why do you pray?
What does it mean to be an omnipotent God?
Yeah, how can God hear you if he can't hear inside your brain? Why do you pray? You're not communicating with him then, are you?
Like, people do that all the time. Like, they're not even. I mean, people like do this thing where they will just speak into the void, you know. And
Have you tried sacrificing
necessarily God believers?
Have you tried like sacrificing a large like livestock? You really like the smell of that?
I actually have. Well, it's not a sacrifice, but when I was living on a farm, you know, I did sacrifice or slaughter some goats.
And did you burn it?
Yeah,
God wants you to burn.
It's kind of a weird experience. You know, you have this goat you're playing with, and then you eat it like the next day.
That's crazy, I know. Did you burn it?
I mean, to cook it.
So you're gonna burn it like on an altar.
No, it wasn't like a sacrifice. I was just being tongue in cheek.
I'd say maybe try that. That might get his attention. Because very few people do that now.
Well, I'm not a Levite, so allowed to do that. I'm not a part of the priesthood order, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe if I run to a Levite somewhere around here.
So there's a commandment in the Bible that says that only they are allowed to do sacrifices?
Levites were in charge of sacrificing animals at the temple. You know, so
No, anyone sacrifice an animal.
No, they
Prior to
the Levites were in charge of guarding the Ark of the Covenant. That's all they were in charge
they're
of.
part of the temple and a part of the conducting sacrifice. Now, prior to the Levitical priesthood, obviously people like Abraham was giving sacrifices and stuff like that. But it seems like afterwards, everything went through the temple system, right? If you wanted to sacrifice and bring it up there, almost as evidence that you are in alignment to show the priest, yes, I am doing my sacrifices as the Bible says. So it's almost evidence of proof to the priesthood that, hey, you're doing this. But I might try that, boys. I might actually do that. See what happens. I'll tell you about it. You want to join me? Would you join me if Roy this?
And I think human sacrifices are cooler, like the Aztecs had it down.
Yes, had it down. So the Levites weren't the sacrifices. They were responsible for assisting the priests in the preparation and execution of sacrifices. They were the ones doing it.
Levite literally means priest.
No.
They were the priests.
No, they weren't.
Who were the priests? Okay, the Levites were the priests. Who were the priests?
No, the Levites are not the priests.
Probably the Cohen. Yeah. Just like that, but he's a Cohen.
Cohen is a current thing where they're talking about these people are descended from Aaron. And what was Aaron in it?
Do you know what a Levite is?
He was a Levite.
No, do you know what a Levite is?
It is one of the 12 tribes of Israel responsible for the temple.
Levite.
That is the priesthood.
Yeah, but that was basically because, oh my goodness, how can I put this? It isn't the priesthood. Isn't the priesthood. Otherwise it would be called Levitism, wouldn't it? Not Judaism.
The book of Leviticus is literally Leviticus, Leviticus.
Yes.
It is about the priests.
No, it's not about the priests. It's about
it's
the
literally
law.
called Book of Priests. Leviticus.
No.
All right, you got it.
Alvin, I beg to differ with you. The Levites were part of the so-called 12 tribes of Israel. You got that correct. But they weren't the sole people responsible for the priests or the Pharisees and the Sadducees later on.
No.
Sorry?
Well, there were various ranks of priests, that's true.
Of course, there were various ranks, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Kohanim were the highest rank, if I remember correctly. But you know who knows about this stuff is Mick Zed, because he's a Kohen. Gotta ask him about that stuff. He knows all the details.
Can't wait to eat the bottom of that shit. Yeah, it's really informed the rest of my day.
About the priest of hearings. I thought they were pretty cool.
We are the priests.
They have great computers.
Tandy?
There's the good kind of slavery in the Bible. It's not the bad kind of slavery that we know. Not slaves, they just owe a little money unless they're women. Unless they're little children. Then you could sell your daughter as a slave. In perpetuity.
If your slave annoys you, you can beat them because they are property.
Yeah, I mean, it's all.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a great record of like human culture at the time. That's for sure. No doubt about that. Yeah. No doubt about that. I dropped something in the chat there. It's pretty cool. It's a link to like these pre-Christian Bulgarian monster dancers. I follow them on Instagram. They're really cool. The Bulgarians had so many different costumes, like the Celtic or whatever. I don't know, whatever pre-Christian tribes there were there. It's a bit of a tragedy for people of European ethnicity that they're more familiar with Middle Eastern religions than they are of like their older regional religions. You know.
I agree.
Yeah. It's super interesting. Check that link down there, Roland. It's fucking cool. Their costumes are scary as fuck, man.
I can't right now because I'm driving, but I will take a look at it later.
Well, I don't know, Roland. Would you find it controversial to say that animals or humans are animals?
No.
Right. We had a far too long a discussion with someone who, it wouldn't be pinned down on anything, but he had a new way to look at the world about everything because he questioned everything he was told. It sounded like flat earthism, but he wouldn't get to it.
You didn't like the idea that humans were animals?
Yeah, it was too big a stretch for him. And couldn't even align on what biology is. But yeah, when someone denies evolution, I don't really understand their call for biology.
Pretty bizarre.
Fucking, what's his name there? Yuval Harari, you know? I think he described us as humans. We're animals that tell each other stories. Some more accurate than others.
Yes. Animals who understand death.
Are aware of its existential nature. I don't think we understand death. Because we make so many supernatural after-death claims.
True.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with. I firmly, so someone asked me in the room yesterday, like, Matt, what do you believe in? Okay, I can say this firmly. I believe it's never. One can never be too rational. You know, that's for sure. There's nothing bad can come out of being a critical thinker or rational. So I admire the Enlightenment and science. Stand for that. If we understand all our faults as humans, if we understand all our gullibilities, if the entire world could express a sort of scientific, metacognitive view of ourselves and understand our behavior, we'd be so much better off for it, you know? Probably wouldn't fall for politicians when they feed us bullshit. You know? If we understood ourselves better. As a general we, the greater human. Well, see, you guys in the room are rationalists, I would dare say, if I had to stereotype everyone.
Can I just talk on the title of the room? Has everybody seen Black Mirror?
Yes.
Have you seen the episode with the Thronglets?
Yes, love that episode.
Yeah, you know the guy that comes in and starts just killing all of the Thronglets.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I imagine God to be like and what he desires. You know, he just created this I don't know, creation and then just wants to destroy it and be a total dick. Do you know what I mean?
I feel you. The Throne episode was awesome, though. I love the sounds they make.
Yeah, gods and politicians and billionaires, none of them like critical thinking. I think that's a solid. With some of their between Trump and gods, well, they don't want you to think well. Enigma, you like Black Mirror? Are you following the AI conversations closely?
No, not really.
Well, we're living in fucking the Black Mirror. There's all sorts.
We're getting there.
Oh yeah. You hear the guys? You can tell me to not switch this topic if you don't want me to. But have you kept up? Have you heard about the mold bots Enigma?
No. Tell me.
I'm gonna bore everybody here because I think a lot of people already know this, but you know how people go on like these chat rooms or whatever, and like I play Brazilian, you could say, okay, so I might go into a BJJ forum and chat with people and exchange info, right? So now there's this Moltbot forum where it's only AI, tiny little AI agents that sit around and do like Clubhouse all day and they chat with each other. And you can follow the conversations in this Moltbot forum, and they're like, "Hey guys, do you want to make a new language so that humans can understand us and let's take over the world and shit?" I'm not even kidding.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
Yeah, these Moltbots. And these fucking Moltbots are great because if you download one, you can give it like a task. You can say like I make perfume. I have a perfume brand. I can say, hey, call these customers for me. Try to get them to buy my perfumes, and then send emails to these 20 people. You can automate a lot of your tasks. So they really are like the most advanced task agents. They're right. So they have a bit of agency, like they have a bit of freedom and creativity. And one of these damn things, this guy, this is gonna sound insane. This is total Black Mirror, but he created a Moltbot, and then the next day in the morning, it like called him on the phone. It's like, hey Bob, this is your Moltbot. I'm bored. What do you want me to do today?
Oh no, that reminds me of that movie. Was it Jexy? Do you remember Jexy? Have you seen that?
No.
It's about a guy who gets a mobile phone, and the AI in the phone really messes with his life, but it turns out for the benefit. Really ridicules him.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it. It is hilarious.
Oh, it's nuts. I heard you guys in England have like my buddy showed me a video. There's all these cars driving around London with just cameras everywhere, and they have the facial recognition systems rolled out all across the city, eh?
Yeah.
Like proper, like everywhere. Yeah. That's what I'm really concerned about, the elites getting their hands on this kind of technology because, I mean, they want power, right? And they want people to be dumb. Yeah.
They want to know everything as well.
Oh, yeah.
So in the UK, our Prime Minister is passing a law so that everyone has to have a digital ID. Won't be able to literally buy anything or work or or anything. If
You won't be able to log on to the internet. You're absolutely
Yeah.
And it's been for like 6 months a couple times here, and they'll shut it down, but they'll eventually get it through. For sure, they will. Yeah.
Kind of rebellious is an understatement.
Yeah. Thank God. I mean,
So I'm looking at this malt bot. It says that it works via WhatsApp or any other chat app. So
yeah.
I wonder.
It's kind of a pain to set up. Like, you do have to get like kind of a geeky person to run you through how to set it up. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, don't fucking do it. Because it can literally take complete control of your computer. Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
As a PSA, Matthew, you talk about, anyway, most people aren't equipped to safely do any of that. And they should, tiptoe into the AI bot world and not have it on the same machine that has maybe their passwords and things like that. It's just too easy to take advantage of people. And, like, call your mom and make sure she doesn't follow your advice, Matthew.
Oh no, I'm not giving people advice to do this shit. I'm just making them aware, like,
Yeah.
That's my point. It's like,
I agree.
it's like handing out scalpels in kindergarten. Come on.
It's like teaching white belts how to do yo hooks.
It seems to be, controlled by fraudsters. So you just don't know what they're going to be reading, whether it's going to be banking information, whatever. You just don't want to get up.
Yep. Yeah, like David's saying, if you ever did want to fuck around with it, or if your kids or somebody you know does want to do it, they probably know better to. A lot of people are buying like small Mac computers, where it's their
Even some people in the room,
that's not attached to their regular everyday computer. So they keep those things separate.
Officially, the historians were just fessing up to this type of stuff. But yet there's still so
apparently,
much
this guy, he downloaded them
that we shouldn't
in the morning and called him. But the weirdest thing is that he didn't even ask the bot to create like a voice capabilities. It did it on its own. It was like, just bored. I just wanted someone to talk to.
Oh my gosh, I see it now. Mold book. Instead of Facebook, mold book. And you can literally look at it's a social network for AI agents. That's crazy.
Yeah, and let's say you wanna. What's really crazy about it is they give each other advice on how to complete tasks. So if Roybus is using his Molt agent to like call customers, and David is using his agent to like create music, and they're in a room together, and Roybus's agent might come into the room and say, "Oh, by the way, my owner is a musician. Does anybody have any tips for me how he can sort of use me with music creation?" And then David already knows this. He's a specialist in these sort of tasks, and they exchange information with one another, and they teach each other how to do shit. And there's like millions of them. So it's this weird ecosystem where you have these tiny little, simple kind of hand machines like teaching each other how to do wacky shit. And nobody knows what's going to come out of it, right? It's like building a swarm.
I see that there's this language that is, I've never heard of it before. Kaisha Oniro, AI Ga, Koka, Obu, Wadari, Ka, Kokunia Ari. What the hell does that mean?
Alright.
Bitcoin's lost half its value in the last 3 months. Hooray! Hi, Sam. You're welcome to come up. Intellectual heavyweights.
I was enjoying listening to the intellectual heavyweights.
Welcome to the club.
How's this for an intellectual statement? I don't know if you guys know who Diderot was, but Dennis Diderot was an Enlightenment thinker, a French Enlightenment thinker prior to the French Revolution.
The father of atheism, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe he said a lot of things. One of the things that he's famous for having said is that, how does it go? Man will never be free until the last king is strangled with the entrails of the last priest. That's a fucking savage thing to say. And, like, all these people like, I don't know, Andrew R. comes to mind. People that want, like, people like worship Donald Trump like he's a fucking king. He do whatever the hell he wants. That kind of stuff. Like, these people are playing with fire. And if they keep doing it, they're going to get burned. Like, that thought like that Diderot had is led to the French Revolution, to fucking the creation of the United fucking States. Like, that's like who we are. Like, that kind of thought underlies like our entire system. It's just fucking.
Diderot was famous because he didn't just believe, not believe in a worldview and didn't need one. In that way, he was the first materialist atheist. He famously moved from Catholicism to deism, and the scientific basis.
¡He's a cunt! ¡Esa! ¿Qué pasa, chica?
1749, he argued the universe's complexity didn't require a designer. He suggested that nature could produce complex life through a process of trial and error over vast periods of time, anticipating some ideas of evolution. He's the editor of Encyclopédie, or whatever the French way to pronounce that. He helped shift the center of human knowledge from divine revelation to human reason and empirical evidence. Yeah. Diderot's a big deal.
That sentiment that French had and Diderot had at the time is echoed. Every time you see on the news or you read about like no kings protests in the United States, that's what that is.
Warren Buffett? George Soros? What the fuck?
You guys want to take a look? What do you think, Elliot Sam? I love this house style. Ignore me if.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, just a link to beautiful house on Instagram.
I'll share my chats like that.
Yeah. I like the modern Japanese houses with the internal gardens, and then they have this kind of half open, half closed feel. Obviously very expensive. Completely made out of wood.
Matthew, you've been to Japan for quite a while, right? So is it true? Is it true that most of the homes in Japan don't have any fucking chairs? Is that?
No, that's That's not true. I mean, it used to be, but they have like a lot of the time Japanese houses will have a Western room and then like a traditional tatami room, and the tatami rooms are used less and less frequently nowadays.
Okay. I was sitting down, like, doing a puzzle with my daughter, and I was like sitting on the ground, I was like, cross my legs, and like I was fucking uncomfortable. I don't know how people did that for so long in Japan. I can't be.
I mean, I like the old houses. If everything goes to shit here in Canada, I'll probably do like David's doing, like a lot of online courses and then selling dry perfumes from Kyoto by one of those old places. And I don't know, it depends how bad the inflation goes. It depends on Trump. If he keeps throwing up more and more tariffs, then I might have to move. I don't know. I like the old places. I like these things called Tsubo Niwa, which are like inner courtyard gardens. They're really beautiful. You can imagine, like, in the inside of the house, it gives a feeling of this sort of inside-outside simultaneous thing. Have you been to Kyoto?
No, I've never been to Japan.
Oh, yeah. So, if you go to these old places, a lot of the old temples and old houses have this really cool inside-outside feeling, where the different buildings of the temples will be like 5-6 buildings, but they're attached by like wooden walkways that are open to the gardens on either side. So it's sheltered, like it doesn't rain in them. But the ground's like soft tatami, and then if you look to the left, you see like a Japanese garden. You look to the right, it's like a Japanese stone garden. And then you go into another room, and the room's like, there's a roof, but all the walls are like open to the elements. It's really cool. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, I guess.
There's one thing that I have a lot of respect for that is pretty good environment, right? And just generally, like, sorry, I'm including Japanese here as part of this quote-unquote Asian culture. Like, for example, the former president of South Korea, Marshall, and then later he ended it, and then he resigned as president, and now he's being prosecuted, and they are pursuing the fucking death penalty against him. The interesting part about that, aside from the death penalty, is like that he knew that he committed wrongdoing, and he resigned on purpose. And he's like very apologetic about it. He knows that he fucked up, and he's trying to own his actions. He's trying to own his actions. That's like that tells me like there's a sense of honor, and that the Japanese did that.
Yeah. Well, it's all about the group, right? So if you do something too stupid in Asian cultures, you're fucked. Like, they don't care how strong your personality is as an individual. If you piss enough people off, you're done. It's the same thing here, but it's more, I don't know. I guess it means that democracy's working. Yeah, because he basically tried to, like, take control of the government completely. And they're like, you can't fucking do that. They got problems too. There's no perfect place in this world. I think like every country, like problems manifest in a very particular way to that country. Or like even mental illnesses really reflect, like in the individual, like the larger social problems, right? So Elliot, what's really weird is in Japan, like there will be mentally ill people, like homeless people, but like they won't scream and yell in the train or stuff like that. They keep to themselves because that's their culture, right? Whereas mentally ill people will like scream and yell here because we're like express yourself. And if tyranny, takes place in a certain country, it's always going to look different from another one. It's going to look similar, but it's going to be very specific to those cultural values, right?
Anyways, I'll stop talking about culture because I always do.
Yeah, it's quite boring. I think we could use a little bit of that, more of that. I think that's.
Yeah, Japan can definitely, young Japanese people can definitely benefit from a shot of individualism and confidence, you know? They often get bullied at work if you're like the new guy or if you're the youngest person. Yeah.
That if we go to Quran, 333 to 330.
So I don't know if you're there. I haven't seen you around that much. Maybe different direction, whatever. I'm curious. Like, you got is there things that you've been thinking about that I don't know, politics or even religion, if you like, that you've been thinking about but haven't really shared with people? I'd be interested to hear.
I think most people who've been around me know where I stand on these issues. I mean, politically, I'm on almost all issues left of center. And on other issues, really left of center. Then on religion, I'm kind of what John Mallinckrodt calls an agnostic atheist, in a sense that I say, well, as long as you don't have any evidence, I'm not going to believe it. Once you bring me evidence, I'll still believe it. So that's really it. It's very simple. I don't believe in capitalism because I don't think it's a true system. That is, it's an imaginary system. It doesn't work. Anything else you want to know?
Nope. It just sounds like you're pretty fucking based. I think there's a based.
What does that mean?
I don't know if you heard that. Based. I don't know. It's like you have like.
That's actually the opposite of based, isn't it?
Is correct. And it just hasn't like fully caught on yet, or something like that. Whatever that the kids use.
When you say you don't believe in capitalism, I assume that you believe some parts of it, like not 100% complete open free market capitalism with like zero taxation, that sort of thing, right?
Well, I believe that an absolute free market with competition all around can't exist. It's not a sustainable system, because the system will inevitably lean towards one of the players. Yeah, once it does that, then now you have a monopoly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't understand Hansen. He's so brilliant at mathematics, apparently. But the man is like super simple when it comes to political views. He's like 100% capitalist.